Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I have a question coming in from Sarveen Yasu. He asks, hi, I would like to install a Xenon HID kit for my R25, which in Europe it's R25, in the USA it's R3. Can you show a video on how to install? Well, Sarveen, you're in luck. I am going to show you. The only minus thing about this video is going to be is that I do not have currently 2 HIDs to install, but I do have one, and I'm going to show you what to do for the R25. So there's going to be two different types of HID kits. There's going to be one that's going to be with this big gigantic wiring harness. And honestly guys, this is like the old style of HIDs. And technically you don't even need this anymore, because it's just a bunch of wires with a wiring harness control box, which is right here. Then you got your fuse, and then you got the connectors that would go to the HID ballast, and some other plugs that you pretty much don't even need anymore these days. There is a new kit out there, and I'll have a link in the description below on where you could get these new kits, where it pretty much eliminates all of this wire. This is pretty much stupid. So you don't need this anymore. This is the old style. This is the new style, which is pretty much keeps everything simplified. All you need is ballast and HID. So what comes in the kit, what you're gonna need for your R25 is gonna be an H7 HID kit, and you want to make sure you got the two bulbs. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description below for the current new style HIDs. It's going to come with a ballast, and I also suggest getting a 55 watt ballast. There's two types of ballast. There's one that's 55 watts and there's one at 35 watts. Always go with the 55 watts just because that it's a brighter and better HID kit compared to a 35 watt. A 35 watt is going to still illuminate pretty good, but not as good as a 55 watt. A 55 watt, you could be in the most darkest areas, and as soon as you hit that high beam, you're going to be good to go. On a 35 watt, you're not going to be able to see as much, or at least as far a distance, because it just doesn't have the capacity to light up the road that well. So you're going to have your ballast, which is right here, and then you're going to have your HID. So your HID is always going to be encased in a plastic tube, and before you actually install them into your bike, if you're able to, the new ones come with the positive and negative leads already sticking out, and if you have a battery, a spare 12-volt battery laying around, it's good to test these before you actually install it onto the bike, just in case the HID bulb is no good. You're able to return it without having going through that whole process of putting it on your bike and you know, testing it out then. But if that's the only way you could do it, then so be it. So to remove it, all you have to do is just pull this out. Make sure whatever you do, do not touch the glass of the HID, because you can shorten the life of the bulb because of the oils on your hands. If you happen to wear latex gloves, great. If you're not, you don't have to worry about it. So we're going to put this in there for now. And yeah, so it's pretty much really easy on connecting this to the bike and onto the ballast, so you have nothing to worry about, guys. Let me just show you right now, just like a quick installation part right now, to show you how easy it is to install it. So pretty much to install it, it's like plug and play. There's no wrong way of doing it. So these two small connectors, you're going to have this one that goes into this part right here, and just click on it as soon as it's clicked there, and then this other one is going to go right there. Click it, and then this bigger part, this one right here, goes to this one that has this little block on it, and just go ahead and put it and wait until it clicks. I'm not going to do it all the way because it's a little bit of pain in the butt to take it apart. So this is pretty much the whole installation of the HID kit. Now the only thing that'll be left to do is to plug in these parts, and this is the part that's going to go into the little plug that's already on your headlight itself. So once you unplug the little adapter, the harness from your original headlight, you're going to plug this into that harness, and then this obviously bulb is going to go into the headlight unit itself. So let me show you that now. Let me go ahead and disconnect these pieces so we could go to the bike, and I could show you how to install it there. Alright guys, now that we're at the bike, there's going to be a little cover, as you can see right over here, and there's going to be one for the left side and one for the right side. Now to get the little covers off, what you want to do is you want to turn it counterclockwise to get the cover off. So let me show you that right now. May get a little tricky. If you need to, just put the two hands to it and kind of twist it like so. So as soon as you twist it, go ahead and pull the cover off. Let's see, get a little tricky here. Alrighty, so now that we have the cover off, you could see there is the harness that I was telling you about. This is the plug that's actually connected to your stock light bulb on your bike. So let's grab our HID. Well, first off, we're going to disconnect this one. So let's go ahead and disconnect this plug from your headlight. You may have to wiggle it a little bit sometimes to get it off. So go ahead and pull it off, and then just leave it off to the side. Once you have it off to the side, now this is where you have your headlight bulb exposed. So to get the headlight bulb out of there, let me see if I can get a better view for you guys so you can see what I'm exactly doing. Okay, so here's the best close-up I could do for you guys on showing you what I'm going to be doing on how to remove the headlight out of its bracket. So now you're going to notice that it's going to have this wire, and there's going to be this little hook right over here. Now to release the headlight from here, you're going to push down on this metal bar, or this metal part right here. You're going to push down and then out, and that's going to release the metal hook for the headlight. After that, all you have to do is just pull your headlight bulb out. Make sure you don't touch the glass, because you never know when you might need a backup the headlight again. So just not touching the bulb, just go ahead and put it off to the side. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to grab your HID. Just make sure you remove the plastic piece off of it. Make sure you don't touch the glass. So here's the HID. Make sure you do not touch the glass of the HID. So let's go ahead and we're going to slide this into its spot. Now I'm just letting you know that this particular HID is not meant for our style headlight. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I do not currently have a set for the R25, but I do have an HID to show you how to do the installation. So just mindful that this is not the correct one that I'm using for this video. The back of this one particularly one is an H1 style. As you can see, it's like a half circle, and it has this little bump on it. The H7 style HID is going to be the same on the glass part, but the backing of it is going to look like this, where it's going to have this little notch metal piece on the top. So it's going to be pretty much almost a complete circle, but it's going to have this little piece on the top, which is going to correspond with that little indentation in the headlight. So just for demonstration purposes on this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to install our HID. And then once we get our HID in the spot, you're going to grab this little bracket that we had removed from before, and just be mindful on putting it in there. See if I can clear some of these wires out so you can see what I'm doing again. So once you get the HID in there, you're going to go ahead and make sure that little notch corresponds with the one in there. Then just go ahead and push the metal this way and then into the little hook right there. So just go ahead and push it around, and then you'll have it secure in place. So there you go. Once you get the HID secured in place, now next we're going to do is we're going to connect the wires onto the bike. Now mind you, once you have your HID installed, you're going to notice that there's going to be this bunch of wires sticking out from the headlight. And how are you supposed to put your cover back on with all these wires sticking out? Well, just to note that once you do put it in there, you're going to have to make a hole into your plastic cover to allow the wires to come out from the back, and you're able to put your cover back on. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to get a drill bit. You're going to drill a hole in the center of your cap. Now you want to make sure you make it not all the way the diameter of this cap, just enough to have this rubber piece go through it. Not the whole like outside of diameter, but there is going to see, if you see on the inside part, there's an inner diameter rubber part of the seal here. So you just want to make it the diameter of this part. So I would say probably almost an inch in diameter of a hole that you need to make. So I would say just a little bit less of an inch in diameter. You're going to need to make a hole over here. So that way you could just, you know, put your cabling all through here. So it'll be, you know, the leads right here plus these other connectors for the HID. You're going to have to poke through the hole, and then finally this big harness here. So pretty much I would say at least the width of this harness here. You want to make that hole at least that wide so you could push this big part of the wire harness through the plastic. Okay, now that you have your HID already inside, as you can see the wires are protruding out from there. Next we're going to do is we're going to remove this cover, because it's underneath the cover we're going to put our HID ballast, which I find is a perfect spot to put your HID ballast because there's a nice pocket in there. So to do that, we're going to remove this screw right over here, and there's going to be a screw right over here with a 4mm Allen key. Once you remove those two screws on each side, don't forget there is two screws on the inside over here on the plastic. There is one on this side, and then there is one kind of hard to see. Well, it's definitely hard to see obviously, but I'm just kind of pointing with my fingers. You could see sort of one right over here, and then there's going to be one over here on this side. To remove those, it's going to be with a Phillips style screwdriver. Once you're done removing those two plastic pieces, next you're going to have to remove is going to at least this one with the 4mm Allen key, and there's also going to be another little screwdriver plastic piece there. Once you pull this out, then you could go ahead and remove this plastic piece over here. Okay, now that you got this plastic piece and the screws over here behind it removed, now you can go ahead and remove your plastic piece. You may have to wiggle it around to get to it, and then also move your handlebars to get the plastic piece out. So just make sure you do it carefully, because you definitely don't want to be breaking any tabs over here, because if you do, you're going to have to be replacing the whole plastic piece. And yeah, you definitely don't want to be doing that. Alright, so like I said, it's going to take a little wiggling around, but once you get it, you got it. So after that, now let's go over here and I'll show you where we're going to be putting our ballast. Okay, so as you can see, we have a nice little pocket right over here. So, and then we also have a little cutout over here where we could actually just put the wires through. So we could just actually push those wires through over here. Both of these right through there. Minus the positive and negative lead, that's going to go to our plug. Here's the positive and negative lead right here. This is actually going to go to the headlight harness, and then these other three cables are going to go to the HID ballast. So let's go ahead and plug in our HID ballast. Now if you want to make sure that your HID ballast is secure inside this this little pocket area, what you want to do is just get some either double-sided tape, or you could get a Velcro. You can put one piece of Velcro here, then the other piece of Velcro you could just stick inside here. So when you put your ballast, you could just stick it onto the Velcro, and it's not going to be, you know, moving around while you're riding. So let me go ahead and move this light cable there. Okay, so go ahead and put your ballast. Just put it right inside here, and we're gonna grab our main connector, which is right here. Plug it into this one. So go ahead and plug it into here, the snap. Alright, so that's plugged in. Next, we're going to grab our smaller leads, which are right here. So then you want to go ahead and grab it and plug those in. They only go in one way. So go ahead, we're going to plug this one in. So once you plug in that one, let's grab the last one and plug that one in as well. Okay, so now pretty much everything else is plugged in. So we got our two leads here plugged in. We got that main part over here plugged in. So you can just pretty much plug tuck in all the cables right here in this little pocket area. Like I said, you can put some Velcro if you like, so that way your ballast is not flopping around inside here while you ride. Okay, so let's make sure everything's nice and neat in there. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to grab our positive and our negative power leads, and we're going to plug that into the connector that was actually connected to our bike at the beginning. So we have our positive cable right here, and then we have our negative cable right over here. So let's get better lighting. Okay, so our negative, sorry for the really bright light, there we go. So here's our negative with the spade connector right there, so it's our negative one. Then here's our positive, also with the spade connector right over here, so that's positive. So we're going to grab our harness where our bulb was connected to at the beginning. Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, so here's the harness that our cable was connected to. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your positive and you're going to connect it. If you're looking at it this way, the left side is going to be the negative and the right side is going to be the positive. So we're going to go ahead and let's grab our negative and just connect it in like so. So we got the negative on that side, and then we're going to grab our positive and we're going to go ahead and plug it in like so. Alright, so it should look like that. Negative on this side, positive on that side. So at this point you could just go ahead and leave this off to the side, and at this point you should already have your cover on before putting this part in. But if you have it open like this, you want to make sure if you don't want to make any holes in your back cover, you could just go ahead and maybe put some duct tape, maybe some Gorilla tape, and cover this whole area, because if you get caught in the rain, you definitely don't want any water getting inside your wiring over there. So after you do all that, now next what you can do is you're going to put the cover back on. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, once you put everything back together, that's all that's really left to do. Next thing is just to put the key in and then go ahead and enjoy the ride. So whatever, I just wanted to keep the video short. I didn't want to just show you both sides. Pretty much the same. It's the same concept and the same thing. What you're doing on one side, you're going to be doing on the other side. So I wanted to keep the video short. So that's pretty much on how you install the HIDs, the new version HIDs. If you do happen to have the old version HIDs, you just gotta, it's pretty much the same. The only thing you have to grab the wires and you have to tuck them around the side of the bike, and then the positive and negative leaf is gonna go into the battery. That's the only difference. But you're just gonna have all that mess of wires to deal with, and that's it for the big wire harness. But like I said, I'll have a link in the description below for all the brand new HID kits that don't have to deal with that whole wire harness mess. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you guys can get the latest videos when I post them up. And thank you for watching.